3 students from, and I'll introduce officially after the play.
Okay, take it right. Right up front. The camera's right there. Look, right there in the wall.
Come on, name.
Closer to where you got going. Come closer.
More to the front.
This way. Coming there. Keep coming.
Good?
Right there.
Good. It's good right there.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I stay here? This is Emma, and I'll have them introduce themselves. See your name.
So what's your last name? Thank you very much.
So I had them come here because I wanted to recognize them. The day of our open house, which was the day before school started, I realized we have 30 new families coming to NES this year. Like, nobody's gonna know where to go. They're in the building. So that same day, I called parents and I said, hey, they come down to be student ambassadors. And they were great. They came, they were ready, they had badges, and they gave people directions and let them know, and all the new families, they were very helpful. So I want to recognize them with the board. And thank you very much. And their families, thank you very much.
Excellent. We have
Sorry, I was really about myself.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming in.
Thank you very much.
And we have a public hearing notice. Open hearing at 6:07. I'll read the notice out loud. The Milton School Board will be holding a public hearing on 19 September 26, 2018 at the Milton Town Hall. Event commencing at 6:07 p.m. Should be 6 p.m. Request up to $6,171 from the Building Maintenance and Repair Trust Fund for security repairs at the Milton Elementary School. And what this is the front door. And any questions or anything?
Where's the repairs?
The replacement of the front door.
Oh, okay.
And that needs to be painted. I guess John's looking for some volunteers to paint. Maybe ask about full installation of that front door. It's coming out of our main budget.
Well, I move that you Packman that you did such a good job with you for you. Go right over.
Although, does that count towards community service hours? If some high schoolers need some community service hours, we
Yes.
can give it to Jan, she can put that out there.
Thank you.
Counts.
Right, yeah, I'll close the hearing at 6:08. Okay, I'll need a motion to it.
I'll move to spend or take $6,171 from the building maintenance and repair trust fund for the front door at Milton Elementary School.
Now, is that the exact amount?
It is, yeah.
So, is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Melissa?
Aye.
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 Okay, all done.
Thank you.
Yeah. How's that door working?
Great.
Nobody can get in?
Nobody can get in. No, it's much more secure.
Can they get out?
Well, you know what, it's really fun. Parents are having trouble, people coming to the door and not being able to open it. It's different, but it's great.
It should.
I think we need a buzzer on the outside, because parents don't know. It doesn't make a sound when we press the button, so they don't know that it's, you know, it's open. It's only open. Open the door, left. Yeah, you're in there all the time. Left or great, thank you very much. Much more secure.
And as far as security, I wanted to point out your nephew one day when I went to go pick up my son Gavino, and he was leaving. And Gavino, of course, ran off, but I know he's a parent, I don't know his name.
Colin.
you know, yelled at and made him stop to make sure who he was with, so it wasn't like a student could just run out. It was nice to see that the staff was paying attention,
Okay.
and that no one was escaping.
So he was running to the street?
No, I picked him up to go to the volleyball game, and he was, didn't want to be seen on mother.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, okay, great, thank you.
Do you have any public comments for visitors? Anybody have a problem if we move down to 6A? Chief is here.
Excellent idea.
That would be 11.
No, it's me. You gave me the good one. So if you give me another copy, you can have the good one.
No, you get that.
What? Isn't that the good one?
No.
That is a good one.
No.
Here, you want this? You can use mine right now.
Hey, what, the board asked the chief that you come in, and, this is the letter, have you read the letter that Jan sent out?
The letter that Jan sent out to the parents about parking or driving, stuff
This-
like that?
Yes, yes.
No, Jan filled me in.
You know, you're all set.
She filled me in on what she sent. It's pretty much the same thing that was already in the student handbook, I thought.
We had a public hearing also. Now, what I tried to do, and I know it works, I tried to find a do not enter sign, to put across that entrance. That sign's gonna cost us $309 for one-time use. But then you keep it, clean and keep it, and then they use it someplace else. So that'd be a cheaper way to write that,
I don't think you need
You don't
more
need it?
signage there. You have 2 signs right at the entrance that say, "Do not enter." We have plenty of signs that run up the entire side of that road that say, "No parking, standing, stopping, prohibited." Unfortunately, people are just going to violate the law. They violate it with my cruiser sitting right there.
See,
They get blue lights behind them every single morning. We have a cruiser there. As long as we're not on a call for service, we have a cruiser there from 6:45 in the morning until 8:30. We have a cruiser in the school zone. 7:30, we do a walkthrough of the high school, and after the elementary school opens, as long as we're not on a call, we do a walkthrough of the elementary school. So we're in both school zones. We're stopping as many cars as we can. We're stopping as many of those violators as we can. People pulling into the high school through the wrong way, I've seen a significant decrease in it this year. The few people that we have stopped, we've dealt with very quickly. The other people that were stopping on the stopping, standing, parking prohibited side has decreased as well, because we are enforcing it pretty heavily. The problem that we're seeing now is they're pulling off, not fully pulling off, they're half pulling off the road, half staying on the road, on the opposite side of the apartment, at 23 Elm Street, right across the street from the high school. And letting their kids out of the car right there, and then the kids are walking in front of their car blindly across the street. So unfortunately, we're probably gonna have a kid get hurt there because the parents are not, following the guidelines we've put out there for them and dropping their kids off. So unfortunately, it's an unsafe way for them to drop their kids off, but it's not something that we can dictate that they have to stay out of a private parking lot. That's up to the landlord of that parking lot to say tenants only, and then it would be a restricted type access issue.
I think people are just lazy, they don't want to go around. All they have to do is go through the dirt parking lot, go all the way around where the buses are, come back around and unload down on,
So they wouldn't even have to go all the way around. If they just pulled into the dirt parking lot and dropped their.
And that's what Jan
dirt
says.
parking lot, they can walk down in through that entrance, they can make a turnaround right in that dirt parking lot,
Yeah.
pull back out onto Elm Street and be back on their way without a problem.
they're just lazy.
And unfortunately, it's.
Any repeat offenders pulling in? Because that was my concern.
I didn't
was-
run statistics to see who were repeat offenders. If we did have repeat offenders, they would get citations.
Okay, good, thank you.
But you're able to tell that when you stop on a second time?
If we stop someone, yes, it comes up on our screen that we've had previous history with them, then we just click on what the previous history is and we can find out what it is. So if we've stopped you multiple times for speeding, or we stopped you multiple times for inspection violations, we can bring that information up. Same with restricted access violations. We can bring all of that information up with the MDTs and our cruisers. If we stopped you multiple times for it, you're gonna get a ticket for it.
I think we did a good job when we initially put this out, because we had public hearing. I didn't see any problem.
There's plenty of signage there, there's plenty of documentation. You can't say you missed the sign. We've stopped people who stop literally right in front of the sign, and with the cruiser directly behind them. And then I'll turn my blue lights on and pull them over and say, you can't stop here. Oh, I didn't know that. And they'll say, you see the sign? And, sorry, I didn't see that sign. Well, we have signs completely up from School Street to the school that say, stopping, standing, parking prohibited. And then there's two signs on either side of the driveway that say, do not enter. It's not something that's really that hard, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree, I don't think we should incur the cost, we do have the signage up there, he does have a police officer there almost every morning. I don't think the school should have to incur a $300 cost for people who are gonna violate it no matter what we do. We could be standing in the middle of the street waving a flag and they're not gonna.
Well, my goal was not to pay the $306, I was gonna try to find another way where it'd be free.
Well, most of them we don't pay it.
I would want to pay it all, I don't blame
I'll
you.
second, third, and fourth that one. Give them tickets, that'll be great.
Thank you, Jim.
I mean, I guess the biggest thing you can do is continue to sell it through the school, is keep sending home flyers, keep telling the students that your parents need to pick you up. When they come to pick you up, they need to pull up on School Street, park in those lined parking spots that are specifically lined for that. Have the kids walk down the hill, get in the car right there and safely come out of that area. That's the safest way to do it. The fact that we have parents still driving through the bus area, I know we didn't close that off for parents to drive through, but that's still an issue. I've already stopped one parent for passing a school bus when the school bus lights were on. Just drove around the school bus and felt that it was perfectly okay to drive around the school bus because they were in a parking lot.
So you
Even
think we
though
gotta
the lights
think
were
it down the future to add it on the sign?
on. They came in behind, well, no, they came in behind the school bus.
Yeah.
And drove around the school bus with the lights activated, sign out, drove around the school bus and continued to drive through. So it doesn't matter how many signs you put up, they're still going to violate it.
Doesn't it say buses only, so now?
That's only at MES.
It's only at MES.
Right.
We didn't put that in at the high school because of the other issues at the high school. We didn't put those in. The problem is there's plenty of other drop-off spots that are, in my opinion, would be 1,000 times more simple for parents to drop their kids off and safer. And they just pick the spot that they want to pick because that's their decision, that's what they want to do. Unfortunately, what's going to ultimately end up happening is when they stop in the middle of a travel lane and they're impeding the flow of traffic, they're going to get pulled over and they're going to get a ticket. When they stop and their child steps out in front of traffic, hopefully cars are being slowed down enough that my cruisers are there that we can not have a crash. That's what we're trying to not have, is we're trying to enforce that area as heavy-handed as we can, so that we don't have any crashes. The one thing I'm going to ask of you guys is to have your bus coordinator speak to their bus drivers. Some of your buses pull around the corner when they're dropping off the high school and turn all their lights on. Some pull around and don't turn their lights on with the sign out when they're letting the kids off. So we have to be consistent, so that way when parents do come around that corner, if there's a bus in front of them, their expectation is they're dropping kids off. The other thing I've seen is that one of the buses, and it's only one bus, and I'm sorry I don't have the number of the bus, but when it comes around, instead of just coming around and being straight when it's dropping off, it comes around and comes in at an angle. So when you come around that sweeping corner, coming into the high school parking lot by the front of the building, you now have a bus that's at an angle, almost like it's trying to pull into those parking spots that are up towards the front of the building. I don't see any valid reason for it to be at that side angle. If you're gonna pull in straight, and you can almost get two buses side by side there. When it comes in at that angle, you're not getting two buses.
So you want the lights on at all?
I either want the lights on at all time or the lights not on at all time. I just want some consistency so the parents understand.
Dropping students off, they should be on.
It should be, correct, but either way, there should be some consistency in that process. Same with how the bus is going to pull in and park. If you're gonna pull in and park, pull in straight, so that way we have room to move. And I get it, the bus driver's probably doing that so that there's no way around the bus. I understand that aspect. We have a cruiser sitting there. If somebody drives around the bus, we're gonna pull.
How much is the fine? Is it public?
For passing a school bus?
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head. But for passing a school bus, it's an automatic 30-day loss of license when you're convicted of it.
Would that happen in the parking lot also, we lose your license? You have to have license in the parking lot.
It's a public, the parking lot's a public way, so it's a public school building, so it constitutes as a way.
So, hope everybody heard that.
So we're not gonna go, those aren't tickets we're gonna place on file. Those aren't tickets we're going to let go away. If you pass a school bus with its lights activated, that's a ticket that you're either gonna pay or it's just going straight to court and we're gonna ask for a 30-day loss of license. So if it goes in front of the judge, that's what our request is going to be. There's no valid reason for you to pass a school bus at all. The lights are activated.
The board is all set now.
I think that was a great move on your part to move him up. This was a sign off among other things. He worked it out to become, he's been so great and kind in terms of time, and the teamwork of this has been fantastic. And I'd like to commend him and the administration for being, as Peg said, with Senate out, they've been spot on. And I'd like to commend them, and one good thing is, although we had to reiterate this and get you out again, at least it's on TV and it's communicated, and people know for the 18th time what the expectation is, and that's the law, period.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to play games, unfortunately, anymore. You're passing a school bus, you're putting the kids at risk. It's that simple. You're turning into that parking lot, you're putting the kids, the other students, the other parents at risk. And you're just doing it out of sheer laziness. It's exactly what it is. There's the teacher parking lot where the buses go that you can drop your kids off. There's a door there that they can drop off at. There's a senior parking lot or a student parking lot, or whatever you guys call it, that you can drop off at.
We have teachers standing at that door.
And then there's also the school street that we lined that road for, that you can drop off at. So,
Just keep it up on Facebook.
Thank you very much, Chief.
like I said, if it goes to court, if that's a ticket that you take to court for a judge, goes in front of the judge, my prosecutor is gonna ask for the 30-day loss of license, because that's what I asked him to ask.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's one other thing I just wanted to fill the board in on. I'm working with Jen and Jan, and we're probably going to change our policy on vapes. We're probably going to change those to almost a no tolerance policy. So students who are caught with them are probably going to face a criminal charge for the possession of them at this point. I know the school is finding a significant amount of them. And in the past, we've allowed the school to deal with that level of discipline for possession of them. But at this point, it doesn't feel like it's nothing on the school administration that it's not correcting it. It just doesn't feel like that level of correction is fixing it. So at this point, we're going to have a few more conversations about it on the documentation level from them, because it's ultimately going to end up in court if we do a no tolerance policy for the vapes when we take them from them, that the student is charged. So we'll work out that with the administration, but the fact of the matter is, there's more and more kids bringing the vapes to school, there's more and more kids trying to use the vapes not only in the bathrooms, but also inside of the classrooms. Whether it's called a vape, an e-cigarette, an e-pen, whatever they want to call it, under New Hampshire law, it still falls under an e-cigarette, it's still illegal. Anyone under the age of 18 still can't own or possess it. So,
I think you see in the news that the amount of students within the US, it's pretty high. You've seen those on the news and just on the news this past week.
I think the FDA is going after them last.
And the student is caught distributing vapes to other students.
It's in our code of conduct, automatic suspension.
Right, so, but is that gonna be a higher offense, because,
It's a separate offense, so there's possession of tobacco product by a minor, there's possession of the e-cigarette, which is its own RSA, and then there's the distribution of the e-cigarettes. So they all fall under their own, basically.
But if I have one that I'm giving to you, I'm in possession of it, so.
Correct.
So, I mean, I should be brought up on charges of possession.
if you come into the school building, you have 5 of them and you're handing out to 5 different people?
Hey, take me off.
You're distributing.
Right.
The distribution aspect of it does change the aspect, but it doesn't change it from, I don't believe it changes it any time.
We're gonna have to change our policy.
What's that?
We're gonna have to change our policy.
It wouldn't be a policy change for you, it'll be a policy change for my department. Because at this point, like I said, we've been allowing the school to deal with the discipline level on that. At this point, we felt, up until this point, we felt that the school's level of discipline was enough for an item in that manner. It's not correcting it. So because it's not correcting it, and it seems like the school is getting multiple repeat offenders or multiple repeat offenders in the same process, then apparently we need to take different steps to try and correct it.
No, we haven't any problem with MES, so that would be
No.
an issue. I was just asking, we were having a problem with that policy.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
MES, right.
no.
Okay,
If we have MES, if we have vaping and MES, we have a huge issue.
I just wanted to ask. Gotta start somewhere, I know.
No,
Well, they might bring them in. I've had that issue, not it.
they might bring them in
Yeah.
from time to time, but I don't think we'll have
Yeah.
I've had that.
that same issue.
Well, just to bring that up too, just while you're talking about vapes, I think it's important while we're on TV that students know that knowingly in the presence of is just as guilty for the school as being in possession. So if you're the lookout or you're with another kid, knowingly in the presence of gets you the same suspension. So,
But you don't get in trouble with the law, then, if you're in the lookout or
Yeah, it's possession.
possession.
right. But for us, knowingly in the presence is.
But that's turning into an issue. I know, what, 3 or 4 last week?
3,
3 last week and
Two.
1 this week, and 2 this week.
3 last week, 2 this week, yes. And a total of 4 of the things of the juice.
The juice, yeah.
Are they selling it to the kids? I'm just.
No one has admitted that to me, so I don't know.
I didn't have a
Using
selling
that from
vape
an
when I was
So that's, it's a problem in and of itself, because it went from smoking cigarettes to using these devices. Unfortunately, there's not enough information out there yet where they're not hitting the parents enough yet to show that this isn't safe. Unfortunately, a lot of the parents believe that there's no tobacco in it, so it's safe. Well, there's still nicotine in it. You're still allowing your child to put a vapor into their lungs that's been processed through a heat source and then put into their lungs that shouldn't be put into their lungs at this age. Shouldn't probably be put into your lungs as an adult either. But as a child with developing lungs still really shouldn't be in there. And there's not enough, if you look at cigarettes, you guys all know the way that they attack cigarettes and the way that you use advertising to attack cigarettes and tell you that cigarettes are bad for you. They haven't done that with the vapes yet. It's coming, they haven't got there yet, but anyone under the age of 18 is still not allowed to buy them, possess them, use them. And unfortunately, there are too many parents who are still saying, well, it's not a cigarette, so it's not that bad. But unfortunately, we're going to have to step into this one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll continue to deal with that as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I should point out, next week, Jen and our John, you're going next week to the thing on vaping.
Yeah, the life of a,
Life
of an
of-
athlete, so it
yeah.
talks about just positive, healthy substances for your body, how to be a positive athlete and to not use substances in order to.
So he's not coming to the school,
We, John, Shay, and I, so the athletic director and I are gonna go with 5 students to the training, to bring them to the training, and then there'll be the student leaders who now bring back to school.
but it's not the offenders.
No, 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 no.
I was just thinking the same thing.
That's
No,
Scared
no,
Straight.
Who that is with the vapes.
That's not Elmer.
You send them to jail.
Thanks again, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so
Thank you.
much, Jim.
Thank you.
Very nice job.
Moving on to September 12th, public session minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the public session minutes of September 12th with the corrections that have already gone to Tammy.
I have some also.
I gave her mine already.
Do I have a second? Okay. Just got a quick question about one of them. Maybe I missed it. Is that date right on page 3, 2078?
Yes, it is. She asked me the
That
same
is-
thing. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Melissa,
It is.
Melissa did say,
Yes.
yes.
I'm gonna be
Because
gone by then.
I
Oh,
know,
you
that's what
are.
she said, and that's what we
You'll
all
still be
laughed
in the
about.
chair, Doug.
That's what
You
we
don't have to
all
hold me
laughed
up on sticks.
Yeah, no, that was my first
Yes, that was
question.
her first question. I'm like, yes, she did.
Now that and Gavino. Is
Is
it Gavino or is it Gannon? It's Gavino.
And I asked her.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. My other concern was on page 1, the cost of $200. That was the town plow truck that got stuck up by Melissa Brown's.
Yes, I believe that Laura sent me an update on that, so I did correct
Okay.
it.
I did.
Yes.
And then, I think that's supposed to be from Gupta Lane to,
To the town.
well, I thought it said, Melissa Brown's house. She said 18.
Yeah, because you said it was from Guptal till the town line.
Is that what it was?
No, it was my house, but
Well, you're on the town line now, right?
the end, right, it would be a little bit, maybe 0.2, you know, I mean, it's
So,
0.8 till my end of my driveway.
Okay, so I can change
you want these? You want these?
that. Sure.
Okay, Melissa?
Aye.
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 Non-public for September 12th?
I'll make a motion to accept the non-public for September 12th with the corrections that have already gone to Tammy.
Second?
Anybody else have any corrections?
The ones I already gave her also.
Melissa?
Aye.
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 Okay, John, I think you're up, you're page 9, your letter. Anybody have any questions for John?
I just want to say the open house was fantastic. I really enjoyed doing it the night before. The opening of school went so smoothly, and kids weren't crying kids off for the parents because they were crying. They were very excited. Everybody seemed very excited. It was a very nice start to the school year. And it's been running smoothly, which is great.
Besides it being hot.
Huh?
Besides it being hot.
Oh my God, it was so hot. But yeah, the people came.
They
It
did.
was really nice.
It was good.
Our enrollment is up, like I said, 30 new students, 30 new families. We had some, families leave, so that, we're up about 20 students, 273, that's the highest. The enrollment report I've been doing since, started in 2014, I had 271 students. Yes.
Did it change classroom sizes?
I don't have that with me, but yes, it did. It did change classroom sizes. We're up to like 23 in kindergarten. And each of them, they're mostly, I think that second grade and fifth grade are lower. But the rest, I think, are like 20, I think it was 20.
Yeah, a lot of them, most of the grades average out to like 45 kids. Grade 2 has 28 kids.
Yep.
And there's 2 rooms, and there's 14. And a lot of them are like 45 and 46 kids. The most in classrooms are like 22 on the average, I would say.
We're all, most of the classrooms are above the state average, except for and kindergarten, I mean, the third grade is only down like 2 below or something like that.
The only one that's really low is grade two.
And actually, that's, I think
That's grade
the
two.
grade 2 is the lowest, at 14. But I think the state average is 16, so it's not that much lower than, I did that, put that together for my board, budget packet, have the enrollment and
Okay, yep.
standard class sizes and current class sizes compared to the state average, just for next year too, this year and next year.
Perfect, thank you.
What do you have-
And I just put in, the information about our big professional development that we have, so.
What do you have for a cutoff for a classroom size?
We don't have an official policy for the district. Some districts will do, like so many for elementary, and so with the district, the state, I think it's 25, which we're very close to in some of the grades. But, you'll see in my budget book, what I've done is I've printed up the school reports from all the surrounding towns to show the comparisons of class sizes and so forth. So, but we don't, as a district, we can do that. We can develop a policy determining what our class size would be, but we don't have that. Okay?
Two questions quickly for you, John, just
Mhm.
looking through this. You said the two presenters, Betty Erickson and then
John Ferris?
the level literacy
Yep.
intervention. But then all the books, are those all paid for? Is that part of the
That
grant
was
too?
all part of the grant. The whole.
Awesome,
Yeah, everything was part of the grant.
okay. My other question,
Go ahead.
what do you do, or what are you using for math curriculum?
We use mostly everyday math, pieces of everyday math. That's what Betty Erickson came in to kind of work with us on, to determine what would be the best thing to use. And so we are all doing everyday math. Some of the teachers, our 5th grade classes, are now doing the My Math because we have a lot of the samples from My Math, which is something I'm kind of putting in the budget for next year because we'd like to buy a program, the My Math program, and 6th, 7th, and 8th grade uses the My Math, so 5th grade is using My Math to help transition the students up to middle school. We were hoping that the Focus and Priority School grant, we would be able to buy a math program, and we couldn't. We were able to buy an intervention, which was Reflex Math, which is an online program we're using. We also have athletics, we do have some school-wide programs, internet website, site licenses that we use. But right now, we don't have a formal program. The everyday math is missing some pieces, and some people, they're using it as a resource. They're using the Common Core, following the Common Core, but they use everyday math as a resource. So that's what we're hoping to get, a full program in for next year. And that's the goal.
Originally, before we went to Common Core, we used everyday math.
Yep.
We did away with it. Changed the Common Core.
Yeah, they changed it didn't fit the Common Core. The way they made everyday math fit Common Core was taking out the spiral and reconfiguring it. So most districts that still have everyday math use it as a resource because, math is math. With the Common Core, it doesn't necessarily follow the Common Core, but it still teaches the standards just in different ways, so people use it as a resource. Yes.
Is there a particular curriculum that you are looking towards to
My math. It's called
find out?
Because 6th, 7th, and 8th grade has it right now. Like I said, we weren't able, if I could have come up with like $10,000, $15,000, we could have done a pilot. Still in contact with the salesperson, so right now I put in the budget the full amount if we were to buy it. But I don't know what kind of deal we'll be able to get next year, if this person is even working with them next year, So.
My math.
My
I'm sure
math?
you looked at all of them, I'm just
Yep, we
curious.
looked at all of them. A lot of it we started last October, as a matter of fact. On the October 5th day, we brought in samples from different programs. There were 3 different ones. It was evolution. there was another one. And there were a couple of, I went up to the 7th, 8th grade in the high school, so, and my math was one of them. And, the staff really liked my math. We had a presentation come in, we had, they came in into professional development, on what my math was all about and how it works. And the staff really liked it, and it does connect to what the middle school is using now too. So it would be pre-K through 8, same program. Yes.
You probably know my feelings on everyday math.
Mm-hmm.
Are we supplementing
Oh,
it? You're using it as a resource, but supplementing so that
We
kids,
have,
by the end of, say, second grade, if the standard is that they will be able to add and subtract
Mhm.
5-digit numbers.
Yeah.
Are we ensuring that they are proficient? Because that's my big complaint with,
well, that's part of what we
With
did with the
everyday
essential
math.
outcomes, that each grade level has essential outcomes, and that's the focus, that's based on the Common Core. And then they use those essential outcomes to, and Betty Erickson is helping them with this, is to use the My Math as a resource, but we also have other programs in there like Math Seeds for primary grades, Mathletics. And now our new one, which we're able to buy with the Focus Priority School, which is Reflex Math.
right,
I keep saying reflux.
reflex.
I don't
Well,
know.
you know, some kids, yes.
Yeah, so Reflex Math is a new program that people like and that showed a lot of, great success. It wasn't on the list of approved programs from Title I, but they did hear a lot about it, a lot of people from the state, so they did give us, it was about $4,000, so they did allow us to buy it with that. So, yeah.
I have a question for you and Ed. When you two worked together in Rochester, you worked at the same school.
Mm-hmm.
What math did you use there?
Everyday math. Yeah, no, my big concern was when I was doing Title I math, the kids were coming up, they had started it in elementary and then continued through 6th grade. And the kids were coming to me, you mentioned the word fraction, and you would see the kids just freeze because they would introduce it in 3rd grade, but everything was that horrible spiraling. And the kids would say, I don't get it, and the teacher would go, it's okay, we're gonna get it again next year. And next year, they would not have the basics. So they would hear the word fractions and they go la 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 la. So, I mean, that was, I don't know.
It's not good at teaching the basics. That's
No,
one
it's
thing.
not, because it's.
Which Reflex Math does.
We bypass or pass over, oh, you don't get it, oh, well, you'll get it next year. Because we're gonna spiral it right up. And if kids do not get the basics in math, they cannot move forward, end of discussion,
So John was your supervisor in Rochester?
He was a good one. I liked him. I think he liked me too. I didn't give him too much
I
trouble.
didn't scream and yell when I heard you was coming on the board.
Now, if I went online, I could check up my math.
Sure, yeah, we have samples too in the building. You can
I'll
always-
stop and see.
Yeah.
I'll learn math all over again.
Yeah.
2 plus 2
And
is
the way,
5.
it's a program, they buy the workbooks every year. It's an online piece too. The workbooks is a cost every year, but there are other ways we can do it too.
Do you have anything else, Commissioner?
If you wanna go
that was it.
down to 6D, so you can do your part, it's the
Oh,
cooperation.
sure, if you'd like to, yeah.
Because Jan had done hers the last
Oh.
time, and
Yeah.
John is too nice, so we'll.
What page is it? Information?
12, 13, 14.
And 15.
And 16 is related to John also.
Oh, yes.
I think that's just informational, right? The donation?
We
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
accept it.
No, Earl.
Earl does.
Under a certain amount, yeah.
Yeah.
For balls.
Alright, so do we have to approve these and just make a motion?
So I have some changes.
Alright. Go, go.
So, on the after-school program one,
What page are you?
page 12, I'd like it to be added in, we'll send out program selection sheets, so she does do that. I don't think it really says that. One says about providing activities that will promote them. their physical and intellectual development. But, so sending out program sheets, and then also notifying that they got in, cause you get to choose, but you don't necessarily gonna get in if there's too many that signed up for it.
So, okay. I mean, so these are things she does that, right? I mean, I've seen that. She
Yeah,
has-
she's doing that now, but if you're making a job description, I think it should say
Oh,
that.
okay, no, I
Should be
understand.
included, that's all.
I thought it was something you wanted to add.
I have a question.
I know what you mean.
I have a question.
Great.
Is this the one, John, that's $3,900, this position here?
It's an hourly rate.
Looking on the
Yeah,
chart.
that might be
It's
right.
a $25 an hour, I believe.
She's in for job descriptions.
Right,
Maybe.
After-school coordinator?
Yeah.
For
it's
25.
page 20. Cause I had a
No,
question on
no,
that
no,
one.
that's what I'm asking. See this chart right here? That position
It should be, yes.
right there. She has a lot of hours. That's after school?
Mhm.
That's
This,
the,
this position?
And, yeah, part of it is, yeah,
Four afternoons a week.
yeah, 4 afternoons, no, well, actually 3.
three,
Three?
Three
and then
afternoons.
4
But there-
sessions a year.
She does the planning, like doing the sheets and all that, that's part of it too, I think
So
that,
that adds up to about 3,900 now.
yeah. And cause she also stays like an hour later,
Waiting for the bus.
waiting for the bus, the after-school program bus to return all the kids, that's part of the responsibility. So she's usually there till 5, so it's usually 2 hours for her.
Does she run any after-school programs too? I thought she did it last year.
She usually substitutes if needed, and she'll do this, she doesn't actually do one, she has to, you know, if someone's out, she has to change people around, get a substitute. She's basically, she's like the admin of the day, if there's a problem with a kid, she usually deals with it and so forth.
Everything was going?
So, did you get what I said?
Program sheets and notices to students.
What they get in, and then also, I don't know how she communicates with the bus coordinator. I know on the sheet that they circle where,
Yep,
but I would think that he would be giving some information of these are the students that are participating.
yep, yes,
kind
yeah,
of
that's
thing. So I
what she
think
does.
that also should be included in the thing.
Transportation, so I just put coordinates transportation.
With the bus coordinator, yes. Or whatever Tim's title is.
So you're gonna bring this back for our approval?
Yeah.
I think that changes. Is there any more on that 12?
I have no more on that.
Everybody happy with 13? Now that's going from 3 positions to 2 positions, is that right?
No, it's, right now, I mean, it's listed as 7 positions, district-wide. What we do is we have 3, 4, and 5, and then it goes 6, 7, 8, 11, all the way up. Each grade level has a coordinator. At MES, we don't have 3 coordinators, we have 2 people that have been doing the coordinating and basically splitting the stipend for 3, 4, and 5.
Have you, maybe you haven't seen the chat that Nate put out about your stipends at MES? You seen that?
Which, is that the one that we worked on last year?
Yeah, it's,
That's
When
what,
I
one was in the,
questioned you about a couple of
that's what I'm referring to, because this testing coordinator says 3 and it's $750.
yeah, you take the 750, but instead of 3, there's only 2 people doing it.
That's what I asked.
Yeah.
More money each.
Yeah,
He said there was one for each grade, that's what I was.
Yeah, I think it's 150 per grade, wasn't
no,
it?
it's 250 per grade.
Was it?
It's 250 per grade.
Oh, it's 250 per grade, yeah. I didn't do the math. I didn't put the price on here. We didn't put the stipend, because
I
that
did.
changes
You
usually.
got it right in the intent to hire.
Yeah,
It's the
okay.
375.
No, you did right, you said 375 times 2. On your,
So they're both doing 1.5, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
You did it right, I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Okay, yeah.
What are you looking for?
I was looking for that particular sheet, but I got this one, so.
You want
I got
this?
something. No, I've got it somewhere.
Okay,
It's
you're
not-
for it.
Not here. Oh, I have it right here. They're right here. Okay.
So everybody okay with that one?
So page 13, we're good with that one?
You okay with that one? What
And then
about,
14 I have changes.
something on 14?
Yep, so I'd like them numbered, not bullets, like you did the other ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
What do you want done this?
Page 14, instead of having the dots, I want would like them numbered.
Oh.
And then,
Don't write the duck.
She's the worst.
for the very first one, develop a budget and outlines of activities with the contracted program. Cause she gets information from Nature's Classroom, it's not something she comes up with.
Yes and no, I think that she does work with them, and they do pick and choose some from what I remember, because I had a meeting with them too. I mean, I can change it too, because it does say some Nature's Classroom activities. How about in coordination with, in
Yeah.
conjunction with, or in
Yeah.
conjunction with? Actually, you know what, I don't know what to call that now. Because the camp that we go to, Nature's Classroom is an organization that
Yep,
has
yep.
camps all over the place. The camp that we go to is not hosting them anymore. They're doing their own Nature's Classroom. So it's gonna be the same thing, but it's not the same organization. So that's one of the things.
So if we just say contracted program,
Contractual
that would
program,
work.
that's fine.
right?
You're talking about the title?
No, the very
Bullet one.
first, bullet one.
Number one. Number one.
And then the second one, isn't there a budget line, so is it really self-sufficient? Isn't there a budget line for Nature's Classroom?
Oh, yeah, we can take that one out.
Wait a minute.
Well, no, outside of financial support authorized by the school board or administration, so if you've authorized $7,000, that means don't go over that. That's right,
Yeah, that should not be changed.
because it can go up,
Okay.
you know. With this new program, who knows how much they're gonna try to charge, but I think that authorized by the school board, I mean, we can,
I don't know if, the fourth one promotes effective communication and assistance. I feel like there should be something more written there. To who? To the students, to the parents. And then
I could just
And
take
same
out
thing
and
with the next-
assistance, just promotes effective communication.
But to who? What do they do, who are they communicating it to?
To necessary part, to all interested
And then the
parties.
same thing with the next one,
I think that could be
maybe combined, yeah.
Yep,
And then, the one that says supervises approved fundraising projects, I would say organizes and supervises, cause they're the one that puts it out there, all those fundraisers, so I think organizing should be part of that also. And I think the only other thing was coordinating, coordinating the trip, bus pickup and drop off with the bus coordinator. Should be included.
so put the same thing with. Transportation.
But
I don't know if we if we also should maybe put in something about, cause I know she supplies them with a packing list. Are you alright?
No.
Do you need time or anything?
No, 'cause
Well,
I
that would be
want-
the effective communication, I think it would go under there,
Okay, so we,
because, effective communications would be making sure that the students have everything they have, and
okay. That's all I had on that one.
Ladies, behave.
And then on 15, I also have some changes. On number 4, promotes and monitors the goals to keep it says class on task, but I would think maybe it should say the group on task. If she's making a club, it's not necessarily a class. Before it talks about establishing the club goals.
keep the club on task,
Club or the group,
Which number is it?
number 4.
mostly she does it alone, but she does involve some
Right.
students as well.
And then the only other thing I would like to see added is distribute the yearbook sale information to the students and parents.
Actually, we do that.
You?
We do, I mean, in coordination with it, I mean, once they're here, I put them in the purple pages, we send out a notice, and we collect and sell it through the office.
Okay. And then what about delivery,
We do that all.
delivering the yearbooks?
Yeah, that's usually done all by, through the main office.
Okay, all right, then I'm good with that one.
So, 3 of these are gonna have to come back. After school program coordinator. Teachers classroom trip coordinator. And,
All at once.
now 13 is okay. Elementary school yearbook advisor.
I mean, if you just, you can approve it with that one word change, because the other one, I mean, it's the last one, you're talking about the elementary yearbook advisor?
Yeah, we're gonna get one word on that one.
Yeah, there's only one word, but keep that.
Yeah, just adding.
15 we take off.
So,
So we can approve 13 and 15.
So I, right, so I motion to approve the grade level testing coordinator and the elementary school yearbook advisor with minor changes.
I'll second. You wanna be specific?
Aye.
No, no, I got a question. Are they gonna come back to us? They're gonna work through that?
The other two, we'll come
the
back
other
to.
two.
Okay, all right, okay. Lori said aye.
Aye.
Make sure they have numbers.
Aye.
Very upset.
Great, moving on.
Alright, so these two are coming back to us.
And we can do
12 and 14.
we can do email, got in touch with me, and 13, the team at MES, Mackenzie's Forum, was nice enough to get shirts for the students. You gonna say something, Laura?
So, when I was working on getting donations for 8th grade New York trip, I came across Eversource, and I know both robotics teams at MES and Newt, Miss Lally, getting fundraisers or grants. So Eversource has a grant, if someone can pass that on to them, or I can email Jan.
Because right now Mackenzie's Forum is also.
Right, but I'm saying for the robotics team,
Oh, okay.
Eversource has a grant that they could apply maybe to get money to
Alright.
help them.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
So
Sounds
that's,
good.
that's great that we have t-shirts, so I'll take for that.
Yeah.
Well, another grant idea, because I know
So,
they're always trying to get
If you
money.
see her earlier than I do, let Donna know that Eversource, because I know she's interested, just like Laura had said, getting more assistance for the team.
I can email Miss Lally and Jan, and I'll CC Jan on the email.
Eversource is your electric company, right?
Yeah,
New Hampshire?
yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Thank you.
Do you have anything more else for us, John? I guess you can go home.
Nothing specific, unless you have questions on the nominations put forward.
Ooh. The only one that I had, but we looked at the sheet, was the after-school coordinator.
The expert.
And that's
If it's not the
grand
person,
total.
then you can ask them that, right?
Pardon?
If it's not about the person, then.
No, it was just the total amount and it's in the grand
Oh,
total.
that's
of
for
the-
Nate, then. You can put the total on.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I have one question.
Mhm.
Last meeting, Jan had presented to us her mentoring job description, so MES has the same
Same one.
as adopted hers, okay,
She didn't put them in. If you notice what I had was MES
right,
at the top. I had sent them all for each one that I had the nomination for. And we used the ones that were just general, and I put district and MES at the top of each one. She pulled the district ones because she knew that they need to go in, but
okay,
the only one I still have to do, and I'll do that the next time when I bring those nominations, is because I will work with the person who gets the position on developing a job description for an after-school teacher or tutor. So that's the only one left.
Well, you talked about that in your paragraph on page 11 about using the other description.
right,
Yeah.
District,
You
right.
covered it.
Yep, I got it.
Did the one.
I'm more efficient than
Plug it in.
it's too late for me.
Thanks, John. Stay if you want.
So you all set on
Yeah, I know, I have to go.
that? All right.
No, he wants to stay, I can tell.
Yeah, he wants to stay, you know,
just bruise the apples.
Seriously?
Applesauce.
I'll make all the five.
Earl, you're up.
Okay, earlier this week, we had a group that ran at the high school, and we presented in the group discussion at the curriculum instruction and assessment on extended learning opportunities. This was a group that had Infield, Woonsocket, Oyster River, and us. In Gillette, Howie Gillette, and Jan Radowitz and myself represented Newt, and they were kind enough to choose our school, and this was a state committee that was made up of the New Hampshire Administrative Association, New Hampshire Department of Education, and the New Hampshire Learning Initiative. And it was a very dynamic group that we had. And I think that one of the things that we stressed was that the ELOs for a school like Newt, as they talked about in Hinsdale, in fact, there was a school board man from Hinsdale, and I spoke about the fact that Newt, Hinsdale, schools like ours are going to be defined, but in terms of what we can provide for the students here. So when you look at your child attending Newt, are there expanded learning opportunities? Or is there a chance for prescriptively to deal with art in the various fields? So I think that this is a very important, and I think that it has been very effective as far as Newt is concerned, and I think the state has looked upon us as one of the ones that have shined in this. So I would like to commend both the group that we had there. So just to let you know that we were there this week at the convention. Also, the flu clinic during the day at the high school was free, and there were 70 students about that were there. And I'm very grateful, we're very grateful that this was done and gave the students an opportunity. Now, MES has one, John left, but next week, and these go very, very well. And
So the students got the shots, or the staff got the shots?
students,
Just
the
students.
staff
I think they
at the high school get them this week, I think tomorrow or the next day.
as a parent, it's great, because then you don't have to make a special appointment to go on Saturdays to get the flu shot for your child.
But you have to turn in the permission slip.
Yeah, it's part of the package that we get from the school year.
Who provides it?
Stratford Health,
Oh,
the Stratford County of Health. That's who provides it, and we were glad to work with them.
So they must get donations somewhere in order to provide that service. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's great, okay. That's my
That's
good
it?
news for the week.
Spiel. Spiel.
good job.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on down to 6, B, I don't know who put that one on there.
I did.
Who's up? Nate?
Who's that?
Wanted to give you an update, we had a hiccup with the website.
That's it, you ruined our night.
What's that?
You ruined our night.
Look, it gets okay.
Okay.
The initial, report that the contract ended December 1st was wrong. It told me the wrong day. It actually ends October 7th.
Well, that's month.
2 weeks. So I reached out to them more than once to try to get extension to December 1st, because that's what they gave me as a date. They won't do it. But I reached out to the company that we're working with, and they are being awesome, and they're gonna have a website up with just the important information until we go live in December.
Good.
They're excellent. I've worked with them a few times since our last meeting, and he's doing a very good job.
What's the name of the company again?
That's all I
Yeah, it's
remember.
virtual town schools.
And the town is going with them also,
Yeah.
so I don't know when they're planning on going live, if they're having the same problems with their existing,
I don't think they are.
okay.
There's no dis-
So
Are they getting a
October-
discount? Sorry. Town will get a-
Yeah, we both got a discount going with them.
That's good.
Sorry, Lawrence.
I'm just saying, October 7th is when they're gonna go live?
No, October 7th is when we're gonna have the temporary website.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They're gonna take over at that point.
Yes. Yeah.
Should
And we're still
we-
shooting to have it done on by December 1st.
Should something be sent out to the families through the principals, referencing the website? Access being limited, or, I mean, are they gonna be able to go on there and get the teacher's information?
I'll look into that. Probably
Maybe something should be sent out just so.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
something wrong.
Yep.
Write that down.
I'm on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more on that? You all set on that one, Dave?
Yep.
6C I put on there, that'll be 11C in the handout. What I did is, went out and got some prices for signs
Oh.
extensions.
I'm like, what did I do with it? I put it with that other thing.
That's right, stapled
Here.
at the back.
I thought I was done with it when we were talking to him, that's why. Okay.
Yep, so we don't have to do, just a couple of those, just give them prices, but, I did talk to Tim about school bus stop ahead. And, he's gonna give us a list where we might wanna put these signs up in several places that he needs to.
I would think that that'd be something the town would provide, because it's on their,
I already talked to him. It's on a state road, state will take care of it. I already talked to Pat. Do you wanna go down and talk to him? You can persuade him.
or can we ask to go in front of the selectmen and ask that?
I'll give you, I make a motion that we send an hour to see.
I second that motion.
Third it.
All those in favor? Aye.
Paul, did you say aye?
I said aye.
Okay, you can do it.
You're on, Laura. Good luck.
They gave us the wrong, they gave me the wrong signs, it said school bus turnaround, so I called the company, and that's the price of $66.75 per sign. We have them in stock, and you have to get the post.
One each way. I see one coming from each way.
Yeah, but there's gonna be other places.
So one's gonna be in Wakefield.
Yeah, we're talking about that road also, but he has other roads he wants to do this to us. He's gonna give us a list. He's working on
Who
it.
wants to?
Tim.
Okay.
So I'll keep after him.
Okay.
Hey,
Is this the cheapest place?
I have
It
no,
would have to be legal signs. So it's probably,
that's a Pat Smith uses. Cause he got me this estimate from Butch gave it to me.
it'd have to be certain sizes and colors and.
Yeah, 30 by 30.
So that's probably why.
Okay.
So would our maintenance be installing them? Or we would give them to the town and they would install them?
No, we buy him, the post and the signs.
Yeah?
He said he put them in first, free. And if he has to put one in Wakefield, he's gonna contact the
Then to make
highway
sure.
department,
Okay.
and they shouldn't have any problem on Willie Road.
Steve Brown.
He's not going for it. He's going.
Going for work. Signs.
So, I will keep on Earl and I'll keep on Ted.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so we can put this back in order.
Well, if you want, yeah, I'm sorry. Earl already did the donations.
Number 7.
Okay, no, we're not done yet, I got a F, 6F.
There's no
Not
we-
on my schedule.
I know it's not, it's not handwritten on mine. We have stickers for vehicles, and I would like to tell our administrators to get them on the vehicles by the end of October. We have stickers to be put on vehicle,
Parking stickers.
parking numbers,
They did it last year. You're talking about like student ones?
no, and staff, and staff.
Well, I know my daughter had one last year.
Well,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
tracking more staff.
Yeah.
I know staff that
Also,
do
staff
have
needs
them.
them too.
Staff, I've been checking vehicles.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
He really does.
Yeah,
That's why you
okay,
got that
lunchtime.
It's got a hammer.
You're probably right.
I have a few dogs you can walk.
So what happens if a staff person has more than one vehicle? They request a sticker for each
Yeah,
vehicle?
never cost them anything.
Yes.
It's great.
Where do they get them at school?
It's
So you-
right out of the
Schools
office,
have them.
no,
Yeah, they have.
administrator. So I'd like to make a motion that we have this project done by the end of it.
I'll make a motion that all
second?
people have
He's second.
staff parking stickers by the end of October.
Second.
Second it,
Jesus.
you motioned it. I
What are we doing? Tammy, what do you got written?
Wow.
Now you got a headache.
Who's
huh?
got the motion?
Governance.
Yes.
She motioned.
No, really?
We actually, she seconded it.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay,
you got it. Okay.
let's go.
To the
Okay,
end, by the end of October.
By end of October.
We had so much fun.
Aye.
Aye.
This is the wrong way.
Yes, my God, now I'm all confused.
Okay, that's it for me. Any old business? No, stop.
Oh, yeah, okay, really.
Headaches. Any under old business? Okay, we'll cross that. out. Uh-oh. Laura just ruined it.
Sorry.
You're so close.
The bus routes being updated on, I guess it's not really gonna matter if the website's going down, but it's still, Willie Road still says they're being dropped off at Gupville. So is that being updated on the website? By Tim?
It is in action now, it's going all the way up now, right?
Right.
Yes, yes, it's been,
I like
the
it.
bus driver has been wonderful. She drives past my house and then does the turnaround in Wakefield, so that she's coming down the hill. She's not stopping going up.
Oh, good.
And, it's been wonderful, everybody over there's been very happy, children not walking going up dangerous street.
You're saying it's not updated at all?
No, I looked at it yesterday and it
Okay.
said, turn around at Gupville and go back to Main Street or something like
The
that.
only thing I wanna bring up there, by doing that, it's creating an issue, yes, because the bus is 15 minutes late, because it turns around at
It's gonna be 15 minutes later for a mile.
Well, if it's, it must be later for the high school.
Because it stops.
No, because she, in order to turn around and not have any problems and not have to deal with, liability on anybody's property, she's going into Wakefield and turning around on one of the streets.
Oh,
Um,
so she's not using the, I thought she was gonna use the driveway.
Can't.
But the street that she's turning around on is actually safer, so that everybody can see in a better direction, as opposed to, even if she used one of our driveways, everybody has, trees that could hinder, in the wintertime when there's snow coming up.
So cut your trees down, there'll be no issues.
Well, about the snow.
Okay.
But there are eight children that, now get on the bus that way. And, so it's 8 children's safety, that kind of thing.
So can the bus driver leave earlier to start picking up kids? Right, but that'd be the only issue, to get them to school on time.
See,
He's currently
Picking up.
working on it. He wanted to get it going because we indicated that night that it would be starting on Monday, but he's looking through various areas in order to address what Doug should just talk about.
Okay.
but that, see, that was its problem, because they gotta do the high school kids first, or is it the other way around? High school kids are first.
Oh, great,
And
great,
MES, they're on schedule for the high school,
right.
so if you change it, you have to change for the high school too. That would be feasible. You get picked up too.
She gets picked up in Broadway.
So they're working on it. Okay, but it's affected, this
And
one.
times are getting better. The first few days, it's a brand new schedule. And, the first few days, I know my son wasn't getting off the bus till 4:30. Now it's more like 4:50. So the timing, it's just a matter of getting the route down and everybody used to it.
So it might work in some way.
Yeah, it might be. Committee and board member reports? Only I wanna remind the board, let's not forget, October 3rd, 10th, and 17th, our budget at the committee room at the high school. We'll be working on our budgets. 3rd, we at 6 o'clock, 10th at 6 o'clock, 17th at 6 o'clock. I hope we don't need another day.
And it looks like you're gonna have the transportation, buildings and grounds instead on the first night, and then the MES new on night 2, and then that would be the 10th. And then the last one, the board will be looking at prioritization, and I let all the department people know if there is
So
an
reviews.
area where you guys need to prioritize, determine what, you know, what you want. You can hear the last areas and then prioritize and get whatever else we need with the specific departments so that final decisions can be made. So that's the plan. Right, Nate?
Absolutely.
Alright, the only thing I have from the budget committee is, if anybody was watching, John Perot has stepped down, and Bob Carrier, back there, is our new budget committee chair, so.
Congratulations, Bob.
Anyway, that's it, so they are prepared for us. What was he? Chair, the budget committee chair. And Bob was the vice chair, and he is now the chair. Just the chair.
So, any other committees, go ahead.
So policy committee, we're still trying to get through the mail charging. We are going to schedule another meeting to take place before the end of next month. We're just waiting for other people's schedules to be worked out, and we'll have a date for that. And then rec commission, we did meet last week, and we're still working on finalizing the bylaws. And then the trunk or treat's gonna be on October 20th, so if any school board would like to go give out candy out of their trunk and decorate it, and then come on out to the town beach. And then trick or treat for the town is the 31st.
Can we get a high school student to decorate one of our trunks? Can we get the high school student to decorate?
You gotta provide the car and then
That's what I'm saying.
provide the candy.
Yeah, there you go.
What day is trunk or treat?
That's the 20th.
You just brought up something. Community service. I know kids have to have 20 hours of community service. And I have put feelers out for different things. People have approached me. I would like to know what these kids are doing for community service. Because, yeah, no, I know, and she's not here, but you just reminded
As far as
me.
what?
Community service.
Well,
What
I
are they
know-
doing?
Well, they
I
have
wish there was a
they have
list of
they have the
things.
emails, I know Jan said, well, somebody's sending out community service opportunities.
Well,
Like my son went up and did
Jan
did the organizing the books before school started, and they had the thing at the farm museum to cut pie for the pie contest up
I'm
there.
posting it on the Facebook from what Jan sends in
Yeah, so
her
a lot of it
email.
gets posted,
Yeah. Oh,
and so it'll go out to the
I post
school
a lot
site.
of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that come up.
Okay, because I'm just saying that, you know, like the Casey Road cleanup,
That was posted.
Yeah, that was
but I don't know whether anybody signed up for it though. That's,
I'm
you know,
not
so
sure.
I think the things are being put out there, but
Well, I know
By
there's
the-
sign-ups,
Anyone doing
there's,
it.
you know, the sign sheets that you get from the activity, like my
Right.
son did that thing at the school, he got his paper saying you got X hours so far. So they're getting them. That's
well,
what-
yeah, if they're doing it, they're getting it. My question is, are they doing it? You know, the opportunities are definitely out there, but,
I mean, it's probably, it's something I
okay.
don't know, you know what I mean? Some of the students, but I'm like,
Yeah.
he's already got his almost done, thank God.
Reported for a report, I said.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, yes.
Anybody, I have a couple of things. I don't think everybody got this email at the training at the, Rochester, coming up on, we can't go because we're going to be meeting.
Training about what?
There's a,
The
group
budget
in the
one?
state that's attempting to sue the Department of
Oh, yes, yes.
The
Yeah.
It's the Claremont, the third
Oh, yeah.
one,
I
three,
went to one
it
in Newport,
started,
New Hampshire.
one, they had one back in '79 or something like that, for Claremont 3, it's Andy Walensky that
Same
is,
individual.
Doug went to hear him speak down and so basically it's the same type of thing in terms of support for schools.
And the other thing I'd like to bring up to the board, I'd like the permission of the board, after the elections are over, that we bring our district reps in to talk to us, because what's happening at the state level, they're giving us unfunded mandates that we're having to pay out of the budget. And I think the figure right now, I can't remember exactly, is the 26 or 29 unfunded mandates they've given us already, and they're not real expensive, but they do add up in our budgets.
And they're becoming more of them.
More of them, so we're gonna have to
I'll come in,
Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what party they are, Democrat, Republican, Independent, they're gonna have to be cautious because we don't have a lot of money at the town level. And I'd like the permission after the
That'd be
election.
great.
Thank you, everybody. All right, yes, anybody else? Okay, public comments, anybody?
Bob?
Bob, you're it, Bob. What do you got?
one at a time, please, one at a time.
It's time for cake. It's my
Oh,
That's right, I was wondering about
No
that.
public hearing.
Non-public, we
Oh,
can't sit
okay.
here and chow it down and
You should
on
have
TV.
said-
So we're gonna stop right there. Need a motion to take a recess.
Motion to take a recess.
Second.
How long do we want? How long is it gonna take us to eat cake?
We can
10
eat
minutes?
and
10 minutes.
talk.
Yeah, we can
eat and
talk.
Well, it'd be nice if we invited Bob.
Bob's